Greetings. Okay, then, we're live. Right then, I'm really excited today to be talking about mental well-being and for what it's like for content creators, especially when either you just started or you have got, like mine, a really small channel and you don't really have a huge following. So, I'm really excited to start. Uh, 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 Okay, sorry, I do apologize. So it might be really exciting to start your own channel, but it can quite quickly feel really overwhelming, and you might feel that you've bitten off more than you can chew, and it doesn't really feel after a while that progress is being made. Um, I'm going to talk about that in a little bit. Um, so also, I'm going to be bringing on a couple of guests. They're only going to give. Sorry, I do apologize. Uh-huh. Just going, there you go. So this is going to be one of the guests coming on. That'll be my lovely wife, Courtney, just basically saying hi to everyone. Okay. All right. So I'm going to bring on a couple of people that are going to give you their the benefits of their experience with doing a YouTube channel in its early stages. So if anyone who is a bit nervous and if you've not done your first video yet, or if you've been doing it a little bit now and you haven't got the results that you feel that you should be getting, this is the video right for you. But this isn't going to show you how to get more viewers or anything. This is how to manage yourself during this difficult time, because this is the point in YouTube where unless you have that one video that goes absolutely viral, it is a lot of hard work which you need to be prepared for. Okay, so this video is, sorry, live stream is about more looking after yourself than anything else. And during this live stream, I will be hosting a Q&A. This will be after the interviews and after I've stopped rambling on. And if you have any questions about what it's like to be a small YouTuberist, I am happy to answer them. Okay, and there she is again. Okay, and hello to Dennis Bullshow. He's in the house. How you doing, my friend? Um, Not been with the channel very long, and hopefully I won't disappoint you. Okay. Again, if you're just catching up right now, this stream is more about the mental health of the people who have just started a small YouTube channel, as opposed to the actual goings on and how to get viewers and etc. etc. So, yeah, let's get started, shall we? So, I have a few announcements to make first. Yeah, right. So yeah, so I do apologize. This is really, really difficult trying. I'm using some new software, so I kind of have to lose things every so often, and I'm having to bring things back. So I really, really hope you stick with me with this. Uh, okay, so what I have to say now is greetings. My name is Nigel Mayo, and welcome to this live stream on my channel, Salad Cream Boy.
Is this Salad Cream Boy? Oh my goodness, Salad Cream Boy. Everybody loves your name because you're the Salad Cream Boy, and I've been waiting so long.
Yeah. Anyway, so right then, so the first of my announcements, which you may have gathered in the thumbnail, is that this month marks the 1 year anniversary of the creation in this channel. With that in mind, I'd like to bring you up to speed on a few things that I put in place going forward on from this, because it's not just about trying to grind through, it's not just about keeping your head above water. There needs to be stuff that you put in place that is going to bring you forward and grow, as opposed to keep doing the same stuff every week. And if you do keep going on about the same stuff every single week, that's when it feels really episodic, and it does wear you down. So I'm going to announce a few things that will hopefully give you a little bit of inspiration to put on your own channels. The first one is I have created a form which is called Help Me to Help You. It's in the description of this live stream. And what that's all about is that it asks you a load of questions. Well, I say a load, probably about 10 questions, maybe. There's no personal information that's going to go on them. The most personal thing is I ask an age. That is literally just to see how old my audience is. If you've been struggling with something for a really long time, then I know that like 20 and what kind of research I have to put into my videos, as opposed to someone who's a lot older who I might have to deal with in a different type of way. But there's no names, no email addresses, no phone numbers, nothing that's going on to this form. So it's completely confidential. Um, any questions that are asked in this, you do not have to answer all of them. There's no mandatory question that you have to fill in before the form's completed. So if you look at all the questions, feel that, no, I really can't answer this, but I can answer that one, that is completely fine. So that will basically, what it kind of says on the tin, it will help me, the creator, to help you, the viewer, in the fact that you're having some control of what is actually being put out on the channel. So that mental health is a really diverse, yeah, it's a really diverse kind of subject. So there's a lot of stuff that goes into it. So when someone has a mental health channel, you're like, okay, that's good and well, that's really helpful and everything, but this doesn't really apply to my situation. Whereas I'd rather take the information in, use that, do the research, and then create something that you're subscribing for, as opposed to bring up videos that I think will help but won't necessarily hit the mark. And hopefully that will improve things with the channel and you'll get something out of it too. So it's, again, help me help you. And this is the reason why I created the channel, so I can help you guys, me as well, because I have anxiety and all the rest of it. It's something to help all of us. Okay, if you're going to be anything, be kind. Okay, so the second announcement is something that I've already put in place, I believe, about a month or two ago. I've opened up my own merchandise store. Now, this doesn't necessarily just have the logo um, of the channel. And by the way, this is the new logo, which has been kindly done by one of the guests that's coming onto this stream. I still had to frame that. So the idea of this merchandise store isn't necessarily just to put my logo and stuff. I'm going to be putting various other things which, like, hilarious stuff, like I might be here but I'm not all there, that retains to mental health and make it really, really light, as opposed to oh my god, I'm gonna die and all that kind of stuff. Sorry, I should have said trigger warning for that, but you get the idea. It's something just to make light of everything. Now, the announcement that's connected to that is the fact that starting today, for the next couple of weeks, there is 20% off absolutely everything in the store. And over the next few days as well, I will be, again, still putting stuff on there with loads of different designs. So take your pick. You can put one design on whatever other product you want, pick the color, and you can customize on however you want it. Take a look. Trust me, there's going to be some loads of good stuff on there. And plus, this won't be the only sale that I have. There are 2 offers every single month. So keep your eye out on that. The third out of 4 announcements I have are I will have another special guest that will be on next week. I'm still in the stages where I still need to speak to him again. He's going to go over a few questions with me, and he's going to be on the show. I won't say who it is yet, just in case, but I'm really, really, really excited about it. It's a YouTuber who has, I think it's over 300,000 subscribers by now. and he's going to give it in the perspective of he's already been there, done that. He's gone through all the grinding stuff. He's made it, and he's going to give a few suggestions on how to get through things in the early stages, as opposed to someone, not putting myself down, but someone like me who is still going through that. But then he's already seen the light in the tunnel, so he's going to give you a few more suggestions that might be a bit more helpful to you. Okay. And there is one more massive thing I need to put out there. It's a project that I've been working on for the past month, and I have a little trailer on it. Okay. Just bear with me, I'll bring it up, and I'll be talking about this straight after I do the interviews. Bear with me. Okay, so you may have already seen this video if you're part of my own personal social media and stuff, but I just want to put it out there here, and I'll explain after the interviews. Okay, bear with me 2 seconds. Here you go. Ooh, Nigel, you handsome devil, you. Whatever could this be? Well, dear viewer, you won't have long to wait for it. In the meantime, I'm going to bring on my first guest. Her name is Paula. She's got another channel on YouTube, which again, I've linked into the description of this video. Sorry, my rabbit seems to have his own ideas at the moment. I need to keep an eye out. So sorry, I digress. So her name's Paula. Paula M. Martin is a YouTube channel. Again, linked in the description. She's a local artist, and I've invited her on to answer a few questions. So bear with me here while I press a few buttons. Okay, here we go. Hi.
Hi, Nigel. Thanks for
Paula,
inviting me on.
how the devil are you?
I'm very well, thank you. How are you?
All the better for seeing you here.
Oh, good, good. Happy first anniversary.
Thank you so much. It's as I said, it's been a bit of a grind.
Yeah, well,
as you can imagine, it is for everyone in this kind of situation.
yeah, exactly.
Okay, so firstly, before we get to the questions, just tell the audience, plug your channel, tell them what you offer and a bit about yourself.
Well, I'm a portrait artist mainly. A lot of my work is portrait commissions. So family members, pop stars, film stars, they're the general things that I normally draw. But I also do paintings, watercolour paintings, with seaside themes. I'll do just about anything, to be honest, anything. But the main bulk of my work is portrait commissions. Yeah.
Okay, cool. And just so everyone knows in the audience that Paula is the person who made this. Again, still need to find the fame for it. No, really, thank you so much for doing that.
Oh, you're more than welcome. I thoroughly enjoyed doing it.
Thank you. Paula has also done another video with me. It is basically art and mental health. If you go over to my channel, then you'll see in the videos, it's listed in there, and you'll see her lovely face on the poster. Okay, so question time. How long have you been doing this YouTubing or TikTok or all that kind of stuff?
I'm quite new to it, really. I've been, as you know, I've been doing art for forever, for as long as I can remember. But the social media side of it is really new to me. So I've been on Facebook, and well, Facebook I don't really tend to use that much, to be honest. Instagram I've been on for about 18 months, but really only using it for about 12 months. But the YouTube, TikTok, couple of months, if that. So I'm really new to it still. It's still brand new, and I'm still trying to figure my way around it, to be honest.
Cool. But so you've not been doing it long. So what made you start it? What made you decide to create content on video as opposed to just the art itself?
I think really it was to try and bring my artwork to life. Art's one of those things where it's such a visual thing. The automatic thing was for me to go to somewhere like Instagram with it, where there's a lot of photography, and more than Facebook, it's very visual. And then I thought to myself, I want to do something else with it. I need to do something else. And it was more for me that I did it, to be honest, rather than for an audience. So I never really started YouTube or TikTok to gather an audience. It was for me to try and do something different and do something probably more out of my comfort zone, really, because as you know, I'm not very good with technology, and doing videos and something a little bit out of the ordinary for me was a real challenge. So that was the reason I did it more than anything. It wasn't really to get noticed, and I still haven't been noticed, but don't tell anybody that. But yeah, it's for me really just to try and do something a little bit different and more creative with it.
Good. That's good. Again, it's so basically YouTube isn't necessarily all about money. It can have so many applications in your life. Can mean anything to you. That's still okay. So that being said, I know this is a really, really vague question. It's the only way I could put it. So doing content creation, has it presented any kind of mental difficulties, like time management or anything else?
Good question. I don't think it's provided any or created any difficulties. It's more the trying to think of new content to create. So every time you're thinking of something different to do, or a new video to bring out, or whatever it may be, you're constantly racking your brains and thinking, is this really going to be interesting to somebody else? It's interesting to me, but is somebody else going to find this interesting? And I think that's the thing that I've tried to not deal with, but try and get my head round. You're always thinking of, what if somebody doesn't like this? What if somebody tells me this is rubbish? But I think the main thing is just to do it for yourself. So if you enjoy doing it and you enjoy creating it, and I think to myself, I'd actually quite enjoy watching this, then I think that's what I've got to keep in mind all the time, because I haven't even got a big audience at the moment to worry about that type of thing. I think the main your audience is bigger than mine, though. Your audience is, I've got 31 subscribers so far on my YouTube channel, so you're definitely bigger than me on your channel. But it's one of those things. You just try and enjoy the experience, I think. And if you enjoy it, hopefully it comes across in your videos as well.
Yeah, I mean, as opposed to regardless of me announcing I've got that format to ask what does the audience actually need, at the very, very, very start, it's still all about the stuff that you're passionate about. And it's all about, right, I want to do this, I want to do that, see if that works. If it doesn't, fine, but at least I'm getting that out there. One thing as opposed to, I'm going to actually mention this further on in this video, but with trying to think of something to come out with all the time, what I would suggest is, instead of trying to think every single week, just don't do anything for maybe a couple of weeks or so, and then just do everything in one bulk so that you can release schedule week after the next. So that gives you the room to be able to think, okay, do this, this, and that, and then I've got that few weeks ahead, so I don't have to worry about that so much, and you're not so stressed about it.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so what have you? So I know you just said you haven't really had any difficulties as such, but have you done anything to overcome the ones that you have?
I've definitely had periods where I've kind of not done anything for a couple of weeks, and you if you're overthinking things all the time, you can kind of have a mental blank as well. So you actually create nothing at all, and that's it's not good either. So I've had periods where I've taken a week or 2 weeks and not thought about anything to do with that or creating a video, and just give myself a complete break from it really, and done a crossword or a word search or something. And do you know what? It's actually helped, because while you're doing those other things, you're actually coming up with these little ideas, and you're thinking, why didn't I think of that before? When you're not trying to think so much about it, you do actually come up with these moments of inspiration. So I think that's going forward, that's what I'll do as well. I'll actually take a step away from it if I'm having those difficulties of thinking what to create next. And that's probably a good thing at the beginning of this kind of step forward for me of creating content, is to get it right now, rather than stressing about it, as it goes on and on. Otherwise, it could be one of those things where I just decide to say, I'm not doing it anymore. And I don't really want to get to that point, because I actually enjoy it. So I think it's just keeping that enthusiasm and knowing it'll be okay.
As you probably saw from my early videos, if they there were mistakes, to put it lightly. Editing was all over the place. I spoke in like a snail pace. It just took forever to say anything. But what I gotta say is there's something called Think Media that I follow. One of the biggest thing is that you start out messy. You have to make the mistakes first. Say the wrong verb or whatever else, and then it will come after practice and practice and practice, repetition. That said, and you probably already have answered this question in what you just said, any tips for anyone keeping motivated?
Enjoy what you're doing. I think the main purpose of it has got to be your own enjoyment, more than thinking about. Or something that I've actually done recently is not think about getting a subscriber. Don't think about getting a like on the video. Actually just putting the videos out because I want to, and enjoying the process of it. And I'll be honest, I've actually switched off from thinking about becoming a big channel or getting subscribers, because I think, especially in the early days, you watch a lot of videos on how to get 1,000 subscribers or 10,000 subscribers, and it's a good thing. But when you're such a small channel, it can also be a little bit of a hindrance as well, and that can be your focus, and that can sometimes put you back a little bit as well, and the enjoyment kind of goes from it, and it takes away from why you actually started doing that channel in the first place. And do you know what? I can't even remember what your question was now, Nigel. But yeah, the motivation to keep doing it. Yeah, it's got to be.
I was just about to interrupt you there and just say the actual question was the best way of banging your head against the wall for a bit, but that's better.
Yeah,
Motivation.
But yeah, just do it for your own enjoyment. If you enjoy it, you can't really go wrong with it, can you?
No, of course not. Yeah, quite right. So moving on from that, so maybe a specific question for you, but it could help other people as well. What platform, as in Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, etc., which one is the best for your type of content, and why?
Instagram, definitely for me, and I think it's because of the visual aspect of it. Most of the things, when I first went on there, most of the things that I was looking for were photographs or pictures of artwork and the type of person that I would follow. So I think more than anything, it's definitely it's a quick thing. Instagram, you're scrolling through and you just want to see something appealing and a picture of something, really. So I think that's why it works best for the type of thing that I do, more so than somebody who has a different type of content. Definitely.
So as opposed to with enjoyment and mental well-being and all that kind of stuff concerned, because of that, you feel that it's more enjoyable for you and you can just get on with it more as opposed to, well, this.
Oh. No, it's lovely to do things like this. It really is. And you know, it's a great way to connect with other people, isn't it? To to talk about creating videos and what we love to do. But you've got to enjoy it. You've got to. And I've decided I'm definitely not going to get hung up on I've got to make it big and I want everybody to see this and I'm going viral, because I'm not thinking in those terms at all. I just want to enjoy what I'm doing. And if somebody else enjoys my videos somewhere along the way, then that's brilliant. That's great. And I think for me as well, because of the fact that I do artwork, I want to encourage other people to enjoy doing the same type of thing as well. So it's not all about, being a big star and getting this fantastic channel. I want to help other people along the way and get them to enjoy doing what I'm doing. So yeah, I'm just going to keep that in mind and I'll enjoy every step of it, I think, if I do that.
Cool. And with that, you probably answered my next question as well. So if one was to quit content creation, not necessarily all of it, but maybe on one kind of platform, YouTube, whatever, what do you think are the triggers that you need to look out for that would be a warning sign to do so? Does that make any sense?
Yeah, I think if it becomes negative in any way for you, so if you're starting to worry about it, lose sleep over what you're going to create next, and I think once the enjoyment goes as well, I think that is the biggest thing. As soon as you start to lose that enjoyment and it becomes a chore to do it, maybe take a step back and think, is this really what I'm wanting to do? Because really the content creation should just be another facet of what you actually enjoy doing. Another way to get your message out there or for people to see your work. So yeah, any negative type of trigger which makes you think, I can't be bothered to do this today, because if you feel like that, then it's not really worth it. It's not worth it. Just take a step back and rethink what you want to get out of it.
Cool. Now, I've covered this with you in one of our private conversations, but I would just like you to ask you any suggestions on any other content creators, like you shared with me. You shared me a couple. Any suggestions on who to follow to give them that boost? Again, you can say me. That's okay.
Obviously.
Any other content creators that have actually helped you in your journey?
In my journey as a content creator, or
as a content creator? Like to help you get into stuff, people who you might have enjoyed watching, that are easy to follow, stuff. I think
you're putting me on the spot now with this. You're putting me on the spot with this one. I'm obviously going to say you, Nigel. Obviously,
wow.
and to be honest, you're the one person who's helped me to take it in a different direction, my content creation, because as you know, I hadn't even taken a selfie when I first started to talk to you. It was all about the artwork and my camera was focused on the piece of paper in front of me. I'd never taken a picture of myself. I'd never been on camera, and I wanted to do those. I really wanted to do those type of things. And it was only from you saying, do you know what? You can do it. you'll be all right. It'll look fine. That it's actually given me the encouragement really to do that. So thank you. While I'm on here, thank you for helping me with that. And it's given me a little bit of confidence, but I don't think there's anybody else I can think of who's helped me in that type of way to create different types of content and actually be confident in what I'm doing. I've watched lots and lots of people, but there's nobody actually that stands out as one particular person who's helped me to do my videos. But
I'll
yeah,
give
thank you.
No problem. You're welcome. And because you've helped with the content, with some content as well. And again, thank you too. It's all
Oh,
about
you're
helping each
welcome.
other. But I will make a couple of suggestions though.
Yeah.
Nick Nimin is one of them. He's absolutely fantastic. Does like Q&As every weekend. Really highly suggest him. And Ryan G. Johnson. They've like, I mean, they're like hitting 800,000 subscribers type of thing. They know their stuff. So any like technical stuff, they're the guys to go to. But yeah, I try and help out as much as I can with the well-being type of stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, where did I get to? Where suggestions on content. Right. Any other last words of inspiration to your fellow creators?
Oh, words of
You hit me right now.
inspiration. Words of inspiration. Be yourself. Be yourself and just do what you enjoy doing and do what you're good at. You can't really go wrong with that, can you?
Of course not. Of course not. Okay then. So I'm going to give you one last go at plugging your channel. Where can we find you?
So you can find me on, let me think, all of them really. Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. Those are the main ones, to be honest. Across all channels, I'm Paula Marie Art. So you can easily find me if you just put that into wherever you're searching for me. And the content is more or less the same on each channel. So if you don't use one of them, you'll find me on one of the others that you do use anyway and find similar content. So Paula Marie Art, if you want to look me up. And if anybody wants to send me a private message on any of the channels, if you're looking to start art for therapy, so to help with anxiety or any mental health, please just drop me a message and I will help you out with that.
Cool. Paula, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you, Nigel. Lovely to meet you today.
You too. Been a pleasure.
Bye.
Bye. Okay. I hope that has helped. There's still another guest to come on. But if you are getting value from any of this content, please consider smashing that like button. It would so help with the algorithm, and you know, it would help with the channel because I can get more good content out to you guys. Okay, so next is someone who doesn't have their own channel, but they have observed the process taking place and have been there with someone who creates all the time and knows what they go through. This, of course, is my lovely and beautiful wife, Courtney.
Hi.
Hi. Hello, dear.
Hello.
Okay, so let's just get to it, shall we? Bear with me. So this is where I'm getting into old man territory with my tech here. Okay, so just remind me, how long have we known each other?
11, 12 years.
Cool.
It's a long time.
Yeah, it has been, hasn't it? So you'd agree it's fair to say so you'd agree it's fair to say that you know me well enough to understand the gravity of what YouTube means to me?
Yeah, definitely.
Cool. So, okay, starting off then, how would you characterize my mood and state of mind before I created this channel?
Before starting the channel, your mental health was pretty low. You were very manic and had a lot of outbursts. I can only speak for at home, and just very irritable. It got pretty bad, and then we found YouTube.
Cool. All right. And what effects would you say it's had on me since?
So a lot of positives, a few minor setback negatives, but positives being you had something to focus all the creative energy that you didn't know you necessarily had, and you were able to take what you were going through and relay it in a different way for everyone who is struggling with mental health issues, and show things that may or may not work for yourself, but may or may not work for other people. So you were having a positive impact not only on yourself, but also on other people. And that was helping to lift your mood, to focus you, so you had something to maybe distract from all the negative thoughts that you were having. And as far as relationship wise, it was kind of that buffer that you needed in the day to separate work, home stuff. So when you got home from work, you could decompress, start in on your YouTube ideas, and then have the time that was separate, that was just us.
Okay. Right then. So how often and how much time do you think I put into the creative process, scripts, filming, editing, all that kind of stuff?
So this is where the negative part comes in with how YouTube has impacted your mental health and relationship wise as well, is that at first, when you first started, there was a lot of I'm coming home, I'm doing YouTube, that's it. Like, I'm done for the day on everything else. It was every day after work, all night. On the weekends, it would be like Saturday, I would go out to the store, go sit in the park, read a book, get a cup of coffee type of thing for 5-6 hours at a time. Come home, you're still either videoing, editing, doing like playback stuff, fiddling around with different, what's the technical word for it? The effects. Not so technical. Good job, Courtney. Editing. Yeah, just editing. That's it. But basically you would take the entire day of Saturday, film, edit, and then when you woke up on Sunday morning, you'd be back at it if you didn't finish it, and you put a lot of pressure on yourself. And once you started to notice that it was becoming a trigger point where you felt very conflicted between spending time just you and me versus spending time you and me with YouTube type of thing, as if YouTube were another person, you started cutting back, saying like, okay, I'm going to do scripting on this day and this day. I'm going to do filming on this day, and then editing on the other days. So it can definitely have a huge impact on your day-to-day life and a huge impact on your mental health when all you're doing is taking all that energy that you were doing on negative thoughts and just pouring it into one thing, and not being able to spread your focus, cast that net just a little bit wider.
Okay. you probably answered this question while saying all that.
Sorry.
It's okay. Don't worry about it. So I know you said it's impacted on me a bit. What kind of actual effects do you think it's had on me? Negative.
Say that one more time. It's a little hard to hear you on my end.
Okay. So I know you said all of that. You probably answered this question already, but what kind of negative effects do you think my YouTube has had on me? As in tiredness, irritability, anything else?
So because you were pouring so much time and energy into YouTube trying to hit that target of Sunday afternoon, you wanted like Sunday, I think at like 1 or 2 in the afternoon, GMT, and you were pushing yourself so hard to hit that time on that day that it was all consuming. And then once you realized that you're holding yourself up to that, no one else is putting that pressure on you, you started to kind of cut back and say, okay, I'm going to take a look at what I want to focus on and how much time I'm going to spend on that so I can have a better at-home quality of life. Obviously, work is work and you're going to be doing work at work, but when you get home, okay, I'm going to take an hour to play some video games. I'm going to take an hour to do scripting, and then whatever else happens in the night is whatever else happens. You know, instead of being, I'm only coming home and I'm doing scripting and I have to do editing and I have to do the video and, oh my God, pressure, pressure, pressure.
Okay. So apart from that, is there anything else that might have helped with those negative effects?
One more time, I'm so sorry.
So other than that, is there anything else that might have helped with those negative effects, other than lots of Tylenol and coffee and things?
I think honestly, just instead of putting so much pressure on yourself, which I am a total hypocrite for saying this because I put so much pressure on myself, but if you take a moment to step back and like look at how you're doing things, is there a more efficient way? Is there a better way of doing it versus, oh my God, I'm doing horrible. I'm not keeping on track. I'm not staying on my timeline that I set for myself, type of thing. Noticing that you're the one setting the timeline is a lot better. And honestly, setting a cutoff time too, because you were up to like 1, 2, 3 in the morning sometimes doing all the YouTube stuff because you're really excited to do it and you want to do a good job. And I very much appreciate that. But when it's cutting into your rest time, when it's cutting into the other aspects of your life, that's when the irritability, the heightened senses kick in, and that's when all of the anxiety started kind of spiking up and then coming back down when you realized and noticed, hey, this is taking up too much time. How can I make this more efficient?
Okay. So a little bit going, but get words out. Digressing from that slightly, what do you think are the good and or bad effects that it's had on our marriage?
I mean, I'm glad that you are able to recognize in yourself the things that you want to change, and you're always evolving. And I hope that I'm doing the same. I know that I take a little more time on things sometimes, but I think that overall, with recognizing and working on it, that's the biggest thing that's been a positive impact because anxiety is forever. It's not something that's going to go away at all easily, but there are many things that you can do to make it easier for you to get through your day and make it work for you. And it takes a long time to master it. And I think you're doing a wonderful job helping other people and also helping yourself with that type of stuff. And as far as negatively, before actually focusing and working really hard on it and finding YouTube to be a good way of getting some of that going, is that it was a stress on both of us because we didn't know how to help each other. And if we didn't know that and we didn't know how to help ourselves, it would have been so much worse. Yes, there are good days and bad days where everyone has, but the more that you work at helping yourself and helping each other, there are always going to be bad days, but those bad days make the good days so much more worth it. And it's almost like a reminder that it's not the worst, it's not the darkest hour. It will get better. And the more you work on yourself and at what you're doing, the better and happier things will get.
Agreed. Now, with that being said, sorry. No, it's okay. You said a lot more than I thought you'd say. Good or bad.
That being said, Courtney, get out of here.
Yeah, get out of here. Now, with that said, is there anything else that you can think of that might be helpful on here regarding
That might what?
With that being said, is there anything else that you think will be helpful on here that you might suggest to others going through the same situation where you're doing this but in a marriage, relationship, whatever situation?
Just don't lose focus of the day-to-day little things that make each other happy. Because even if you don't have all the time in the world, the littlest thing can make the biggest impact on the day. Like, honestly, when you would come home from work and just give me a hug, even while I was cooking dinner, because I would cook dinner to have it ready for you right when you got home from work, is the biggest thing. Or just letting me lay next to you while you were editing and I could read a book or watch a movie with headphones on or anything. It's just the time that you can spend with each other that makes the most impact.
Okay.
That's all I got.
No, that's fine. I was just seeing where you go with that. So before I say bugger off and get out, so all I have on my screen at the moment as part of this so-called script to this video, I've actually just got the words in big, massive capital letters saying "Make funny announcement." So what I'm going to do, I'm going to keep you on for this because I just want your reaction to it as well. Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to play it again. This is one little kind of teaser clip that I have for what I'm about to announce here, and I'm just going to play that now. It's about 10-20 seconds long. So here we go. Okay, any clue what that might be hinting towards?
All I see is the fluffy little boy. I don't know what it could be hinting to at all.
Okay. I have created a new separate channel from this one
For
where,
Ghost?
yeah.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. I think everyone's going to love it.
So
I don't know
it's
how much Ghost is going to like it, but.
So he won't have to do much for it. It's just going to be him, which is basically
okay.
eating, making turds, and flopping, pretty much. No, there's a lot more to it than that. I'm going to hint at another channel here, Lennon the Bunny. So I've actually called it Ghost of the Bunny. Not too derivative, whatever that word's supposed to be, derivative. I think it's pronounced. Yeah, whatever. So basically, it's going to be a bunny care and lifestyle channel. It's going to be the kind of same as that. There's nothing to do with mental health there. I'll be mentioning stuff about emotional support animals, which is what has got a lot of views on my channel. So I'm going to make something completely separate about that too. But it's basically how to care for a rabbit, how to give the rabbit the full life. And it's from the perspective of someone in the UK, because there's a lot of information about stuff in the US, but not too much about the UK stuff. So I'm going to divide between mental health and Ghost.
I think that's going to be awesome, and a lot of people are going to like it. And I think definitely you're right. As I was looking into if I got a pet, bringing it to the UK, and there's not a lot of information out there, and all the information on travel with animals is like you can't fly direct into London Heathrow with them. You'd have to like fly into another place like France or Italy, and then fly from there to London or Birmingham. But yeah, there's not enough information out there either for renters, especially because when we were looking for a new place, we were lucky enough to find the place you're in now, and talk to them about Ghost and the situation, and they luckily allowed him to be there because we wouldn't have been there without it.
Yep. And being a mental health thing for this channel, it's one of the things that's inspired me to do another channel for him, because not just about how to take care of the rabbit itself, but himself. But so it's getting a bit too. Speaking of the little devil, his ears are burning. Just keeping him away from certain things.
Yes, he loves chewing things.
Yeah. So with pets and things being a great deal about mental health, that's what pretty much they're there to be, a companion, fluff child, whatever you want to call them.
The fluffy boy.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm currently working on my first video for it. I've already put that teaser out on that channel. It's called Ghost the Bunny. And the first video, the proper help video, will be out in September sometime. Most likely within the first couple of weeks of September.
Excellent.
Okay. So I'm going to leave that with you. I am going to keep on rambling about a few other things for a little bit, but just going to say thank you for coming on. And after the stream, I'll be calling you. Right, that's Courtney, everyone. Later. Okay, right. So yeah, head over to Ghost the Bunny. I think I put a link in the description to this stream, but if I haven't, I will be after this stream is after this stream is over. And then yeah, if you've got a rabbit, then it might be the place to go to if you're in the UK. Okay, so there's a few things that we can take from what I've just spoken to about with my guests. So you're going to get loads of advice from other channels that would tell you to go all in on YouTube. And it's your business and it's your brand, etc., etc., etc. It's your brand. It's basically a business, your livelihood, eventually, and everything like that. However, and they're completely right. However, two things. YouTube is a marathon, not a sprint, meaning go slow at first. You don't have to rush at it, only maybe for the last mile when you pick up pace. But it's a marathon, not a sprint. So chill, okay? Yes, it is important. It is important, but not so much that you're sacrificing major things like your mental health, physical health, your relationships, all that kind of stuff. When you're alone, it's a bit different, but you still don't want it. You still don't want it to be. Sorry, really trouble getting my words out. You still don't want it to be the case where you're burning out and literally it's all that you're thinking of, and there's no other time for anything else. You need to make time for you, and the more attention you can give to living a healthy lifestyle, the better you will feel in yourself, and it will come across on screen. Your audience will notice when things are okay or not. It will be blatant. I've had comments from people that I know, from my wife that you just saw, that you will be able to tell when you're not looking okay. So please, 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 please bear that in mind. The second thing is that while yes, if you are serious about YouTube and you will have to make some sort of sacrifice, and I don't mean all of your time, but maybe not so much time on the Xbox, going out for drinks and stuff. Learn to say no every so often, not just like, yeah, I want to do this with you, I want to get that stuff done, I want to do this, that, and the other, and just keep dividing your time all of the time. But it doesn't have to mean all of that, and you don't have to become any kind of a hermit. It's like anything in moderation. Yes, it might be important to you, but it has to come to a point where you have to kind of find that balance and balance that time. So Courtney just mentioned this, and that I was YouTubing after work and then doing it completely all the time on the weekend. That really did affect me a lot. And it got so intense. Once I started once I started setting alarms for maybe 1 hour, 2 hours, or 3 hours, 1 hour during the week, and maybe 3-4 hours pushing it on a weekend, and I mean really pushing it, life became a lot easier, and I was a lot less tired all the time. Well, other than my 9 to 5 job and all that kind of stuff, but you get the idea. And one thing I highly suggest when you're bringing content out is, how should I put this? It isn't multitasking, but you do it all in bulk. So maybe you might take the week to just purely script, and then you'd film like 3, 4, 5, however many videos all in one go. You may want to get a flash drive or a bigger memory card or anything like that. But it really does help to film multiple videos at the same time, because then you won't have to think about anything else. You won't have to do any more scripting. You can just purely focus on editing for a bit, and you won't have that pressure of thinking, I've got to get something out now. I need to completely bring up a new idea, all that kind of stuff. And then it's just going to be a massive stressor, and it'll be a massive drain on you just to hit that deadline for each week. So even though you might take a hit, maybe for 1 week, just get like very least a month's worth of content ready, so that if you are having a down day, if your 9 to 5 job is really stressing you out, if you're worrying about certain things, you have that time and it's one less thing to worry about there and then, and you don't have that pressure to get everything done now. So as much as you can, do things in bulk. I've started doing it, and oh my god, so much better. And maybe the odd live stream, because I'm actually doing this week and even maybe next week in place of an actual video that I might have released on the weekend. Because let me tell you, yes, it takes practice and it's a completely different animal from doing a script, filming it, and editing you're actually live. So the good thing about this is that you can script it to a point, make it more bullet points. You don't want to make it from word to word, because all the stuff I'm talking to you right now isn't within the script. And you have more of a tendency to ramble a bit more and just go with it. And you're a bit more natural this way, as opposed to, hi, my name's Nigel, and this is my channel, Salad Cream Boy, and then so forth and so forth. And it can become a bit tedious. So if you do happen to need a break every so often, bulk it. Okay. So I just had a private message there. Apologies for that. Okay. I'm so sorry. The live stream just went on me there. I don't know if it cut out for anyone else. There you go. So just again trying to get used to a new system here. So where were we? So yeah, bulk as much as you can whenever you can. That way you can start working on the end game, as opposed to stressing about what's going to happen here and now, and more like putting out fires every time. You can start looking at the big picture, planning forward, which doing bulk, it actually gives me the time to make things like the Help Me Help You form and the second channel, and just various other things that you might not have time to otherwise, because you're burnt out by doing the main content all of the time. So bulking it, honestly, and live streams the way to go. Because what happened now is, once I finish this live stream, that'll be rendered by YouTube, and then it's just out there. I can make edits on YouTube if I need to cut out some of the slack, and cut out some of the fluff. But otherwise, it's a pretty quick process. If you need that kind of time, then do a live stream for maybe half an hour tops. I know I've gone over the hour mark now, but the point is the same. Yeah, so what I would say, if you can load your content up to 3 weeks to a month and then slow down, you'll be a lot better for it, because you'll still be maybe creating one video a week if you do one a week anyway, but at least you can take your time and think about it and then get it out for that 3-4 weeks ahead, and then it's all done, sorted, move on to something else, as opposed to, oh my god, I need to get this done now, otherwise algorithm and time schedules and all that kind of stuff, and it's just going like, So that's my 2 cents about that. Of course, the other thing is, and it's something that I've had to kind of deal with as well, is, okay, I'm going to level you with you here. Creating content isn't, for some people, not everyone, as Paula earlier said, it can just be for the fun of it. But a lot of YouTube content creators are making all this kind of stuff to get monetized, to make money, bring in enough cash to not have to do another job and be your own boss, all that kind of stuff. Oh, by the way, I've just had a comment here, and I'm just going to highlight it here. It's from Imran, and basically, Dennis, subscribe to your channel, and thanks for supporting Nigerian Positivity. Firstly, Imran, thanks, man, and also Dennis, Yeah, thank you. I know you subscribed when you saw that Brian G. Johnson thing, so that's muchly appreciated. And I've got to say, I subscribe to you, and yeah, it's a really, 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 really good channel you got there. Proving my point, one of the first videos that I saw of yours was a live stream, and yeah, it was a load of dad jokes, which everyone who I work with and friends and family and everyone would tell you I am an absolute bugger for it. I will basically just rapid fire like dad jokes all of the time, to the point that I'm just annoying people. So yeah. So anyway, where was I? Monetizing. So when you're a YouTuber, I don't know what it's like on things like Instagram or TikTok and any of that. I know they have their thresholds, but for YouTube, where it's 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours within 365 days a year, it is a real grind to get to that point, because that is the thing that's going to put pressure on you. Now, one of the things, or in this case, multiple things that you can do to take the pressure off, is monetize your not channel but business in other ways, because it isn't necessarily down to ad revenue when you become part of the YouTube partner program, excuse me. So when I say monetize, it means creating your own streams of revenue, meaning product reviews. Get your product reviews done, become an affiliate marketer, get the links from, say, Amazon is the big one that people use. There are loads of others. Just need to pop into Google, affiliate and whatever you want to do. So in my case, it would be affiliate marketing, mental health, mental well-being. And if you want to do something like promote something, do a review on something, like during my 10-part series on sleep, there's stuff like aromatherapy, which I was able to get affiliate links to. And there was one where I suggested, what was it? It was the ear things, ear twaddlers thingies, whatever they're called, earbuds, whatever. Someone in the chat just help me out with a word here. Earplug, that's it. Someone actually bought an earplug. I think it was about £8 or so for some really good ones that I suggested, and I got some money out of that. My first sale. So the partner program for YouTube isn't necessarily just one way to go. Another way would be to start your own merch store. Now, I do mine with someone called Spreadshop. They're really good, because all you really need to do is, obviously, you need to make sure that you've got your information right with payments and all that kind of stuff. But it's also really good in the fact that you just create your own design. Like I would put this logo on the shirts and all the rest. Sorry, the shirts and all the rest of it. You literally just load it up as a PNG file, and they literally do the rest. Okay, you need to pick out what products it goes on and the colors and stuff, and the placement of the design on the t-shirt or lunchbox or whatever you put on. And you can use stickers and aprons and bags and other things, even iPhone covers. And they will literally do everything else. So they'll do the customer service, packaging, delivery, all the rest of it. All you are doing is literally creating your store, designing your store, and putting your designs and loading them up. That is it. And all you got to do then is watch the money coming in. Okay, I'm not going to tell a lie here. I'll be real. I've only made one sale in 6 months, but that is only most likely because my channel, being about well-being, there's not a lot that I could think of at first that I could make money out of, and it's only things like aromatherapy and stuff like that that's really niche, that would help with stuff like that. So yeah, get yourself monetized in other way and look them up. There's loads and loads of other videos in how to get monetized where it's not part of the partner program, that you can actually bring some money in. So if that's one of the things that's making you stressed, and one of the things that you're really worried about, that I need to do this is hit that 1,000 subs, hit that 4,000 hours of watch time a year, get that done fast. If that's what you're really struggling with and what you're thinking about, do not worry about it. Focus on one, creating great content, because that's the thing that's going to get you those watch hours and subscribers. Be true to yourself and start looking at other things in bringing money in. There's one huge channel which I can suggest to help you with that, and it's called Think Media. Honestly, they are the best. The best. Not to promote them too much here. And once you start monetizing yourself in other ways, it doesn't become so much of a priority on your actual channel stats. Don't get me wrong, it's really important to tighten things up and bring out great content, but it's not something that's going to be at the forefront of your mind. Now, speaking about things that I'm really passionate about, I'm just going to again touch upon the fact that I've created a new channel. Now, not necessarily to plug that channel too much, but mainly to just tell you why. Now, with mental health, it is, even though on my channel I try to keep it as light as I can, it is a really serious subject. I mean, it can go from people being anxious, not being able to leave the house, not being able to interact with people properly, and to an extreme case, people dying. I mean, it really is that serious. So one of the things that I try to do with this channel is to bring the light side of it, and then bring a bit of greetings, my name's Salad Green Boy, and all that kind of stuff, and be really energetic, and well, as energetic as I can be, but make it consumable in such a way that it's not just, okay, I want to know this about mental health, but I'm going to have to watch a really serious gloom and doom movie. I don't want that. I want jokes in there to be in there, and I want it to be the case that you leave my videos with a smile on your face, as opposed to, yes, okay, I've just learned this, but now I'm just going to have to apply it, as opposed to actually, I hope, being entertained to a point. So with that being said, because even though I'm trying to bring out the lightheartedness about it, my point is, I want to bring out something that I'm also really into and really passionate about, which is my pet rabbit, Ghost. And I wanted to bring that to the screen, and I wanted to be able to help everyone in the way that when I got him, let's just say this, he was my first ever pet that I have completely by myself. No family around me, no one. It's completely mine. And I had no idea on how to bring up a freaking rabbit, you know? So I had to do all the research, put it into practice myself, and make the mistakes. And eventually, I mean, my God, where are we now? It's like he's 2.5 years old, at least coming up to that. And I can't believe it's like yesterday since I had him. And yeah, as I said to Courtney earlier, there's not a lot of information on UK stuff. Most of the channels that you're going to get about bunnies and lifestyle and taking care of them, and making sure that they have a full life and interacting them, do's and don'ts, and where to get care for them in emergencies, and how to do this, how to do that. There's so much in the States, but where it falls down is because there's not as, I'm not going to say there's not a lot, but there's not as much as in UK, where you can find out information like where's where to go in an emergency, where to get this, where to get that, how to do this, what are my rights with this, that, and the other. And the awareness is nowhere near what it is in the States, in the UK, with rabbit care and what they can do. I mean, a lot of people, I only just realized when I had a rabbit myself, they don't belong in cages. I free roam my rabbit. He's got free roam of this flat and he loves it, runs around, binkies everything. So anyway, I'm going to get to that on the actual channel itself. My point is that with mental health being such a heavy subject, let's put it that way, that okay, I enjoy making the videos, but it's still something that's on the forefront of my mind all the time, and it gives me the break. So to focus on something that has nothing to do with it per se, it's going to give my attention is going to go somewhere other than my own mental health, my own anxiety, because that's pretty much what I talk about in my videos, how to not do that. But with trying to find ways of reducing anxiety, it can trigger it. So I'm not just doing it for my audience, I'm doing it for my own well-being as well. And I really do suggest that for anyone that is starting a YouTube channel, it's going to be trial and error. So what you find that you may think that might be working for you now may not be what's going to work. And again, I'll give you another example of this. When I first started my channel, it was actually going to be a completely different format and niche to what it is actually now. Still within mental health, but it was going to be, okay, there's a lot of channels, YouTube channels out there that specifically focus on the state of the media, wokeness, intersectional feminism, the LGBTQ, whatever it's called, community. Sorry if I mispronounced that. I wasn't able to think of it at the top of my head, but all of the minorities, Black Lives Matter, and all that kind of stuff has been shoehorned into all of media and stuff. And while I'm not going to get into that, that's not the point of me bringing it up. I wanted to bring a lighter side to, a more positive side to the media. So the original idea of this channel was to pick certain movies, anything or TV, film, even to a point games. My God, I love Red Dead Redemption, my wife would tell you, and that's really relaxing for me. Not necessarily to shoot people, but to just go around on horseback everywhere, and it's just monotonous. It's just really, really good for just staring into space and letting go. Anyway, my point being is that it was meant to be about positive media, that you can still enjoy films, even though you might be looking at old movies, maybe one or two that come out now. There are a couple. I've just watched Free Guy, and it's an amazing movie. I really highly recommend it. But where to go where there's all this stuff being shoved in your face on YouTube, the news, media, all that kind of stuff that's going on Hollywood, that it is possible to still enjoy the media at this point. You just got to figure out how. That's what it was at the very start. Now, because COVID hit at the same time, it got difficult because the entertainment industry, one, got worse with stuff like woke, but it just stopped to a point because there wasn't a lot more stuff coming out because it wasn't being made because of the restrictions and things like that. So my content, I felt, wasn't really going to go on for too much longer if I kept going in that direction. So what I did was I broadened the niche and made it about well-being, what eventually turned into well-being, because I was only going to be doing it for people that specifically suffered from things like depression, anxiety, bipolar, and all that kind of stuff. But now everyone has issues. Everyone does. Every single person on the planet, to some point, whether they realize it or not, has mental health issues of their own. So I don't think it's fair to say, oh, people who just suffer from anxiety, depression, there's loads of other stuff that goes on. So I think it's more fair to hit more people with content that's going to apply to them. And it's also one of the reasons why I've made the form Help Me Help You. It's links in the description, where I want to ask everyone, what do you want me to make content about? As opposed to, I might make a content about starting a new job one day and long distance relationships the next day. They're really specific questions and answers where, okay, it's a mental well-being thing that I'm doing, but it's a hit and miss on the content that I bring out every week. It's going to be the same thing and might actually help the audience that are watching. So creating the channel evolves. So if you do kind of go off topic at the start, don't worry about it. It's something that's going to improve later on. And it's not something that you really need to be worried about at this point. Again, unless you have a viral video that just completely explodes right here, right now, it's going to be a grind. Again, it's a marathon, not a sprint, and start out messy, because you're going to make all of the mistakes now, which you're going to learn for later. And that's what I've done. Okay, I'm still learning a lot. There's things like on KineMaster, the app I use to create my content. There's new stuff being brought out on all the time, and there's little nuggets that I learn from day to day to make my videos at 1% better every time. And that's what I suggest that you do. You don't have to create an absolute masterpiece every time that you create something. Just create something that's 1% better every time. Just as long as you're moving in the right direction, doesn't really matter how fast you get there, just as long as you do. Okay? So, with that, I'm just going to make another announcement right now, but if anyone that's watching has any questions about stuff that I've gone through that might help you, or any questions about well-being in general with content creating or anything else, put it down right now, because I'm going to do a quick Q&A, which I can't see any questions on there right now, which I wasn't expecting any, because again, not a big channel. No big deal, but if you do want to ask any other questions in the comments after this is published, please do so. But while that's going on, just another quick announcement. I'm not going to mention who it is, because just in case it falls through and if they have time to or not. But there is a channel who is, I believe, is about 300,000 subscribers strong. So they've made it. They've put in the hard work. They've been through the grind. They've been there, done that. And what I'm going to do next week is have an interview with them. Going to be a little bit more prepared than this week. I have been stuttering quite a bit, yes or no. But I'm going to go through with them what they went through, because I think not only is it good to have a perspective of someone who's still going through it the same as you, I think it's also important to get it from someone who has been through it and is able to offer some advice, the benefit of their experience, in that I have been there and done it. So I just want to make sure that you don't go through the same thing. You get me? You dig? Okay, I can't see any questions, so I'm going to leave it there. Thank you so much for watching. I do try to improve my content as much as I can. There is stuff that I'm working on right now that's going to come out in a couple of weeks after this interview next week. But I think I'm going to have it prepared for next week anyway, just in case stuff doesn't go through. Things change all the time, and it's cool. It really is. So, that being said, it's like I always say, at the end of the day, it gets dark, and I have been Salad Cream Boy.
Is this Salad Cream Boy? Oh my goodness, Salad Cream Boy. Everybody loves your name because you're the Salad Cream Boy, and I've been waiting so long.